Alright guys, well it's officially release day for Hyper Lightbreaker, and I took kind of a beating in the comment section in my last video covering them. A lot of people seem to have the feeling that it really doesn't matter that Sweet Baby Inc. had a hand in making this game, and it took kind of the so what, who cares approach. Now, if that's how you feel about it, that's fine, but to be honest, people are downplaying the involvement of the activists in the video game industry in regards to this game, I think simply because they want this game to be good and it's an independent developer. Unfortunately, these are things that you cannot separate because Sweet Baby Inc., they started off with a few small accounts, and here they are, you know, working with big companies like Ubisoft and everything else, and Square Enix. It's like, you have to accept the fact that some of these games, as much as you might have liked the first one or liked the studio, are going to be compromised by companies like Sweet Baby Inc. So of course, the reviews are not looking too good for this game today. Most of them, like I've said before, don't even have anything to do with Sweet Baby Inc. The reviews actually are mostly technical because the game is apparently not in a good state. And for some people, they're saying it's not even playable. Some people are saying it feels more like an alpha test kind of build where they shouldn't have had to pay for the game to play it in its current state. Whether it's going to make money or not remains to be seen. If you want to compare this game to Hyper Light Drifter, which came out 9 years ago, Hyper Light Drifter made gross $13.5 million, of which they were actually netted almost $4 million. So for a Kickstarter independent game, very impressive. Hyper Light Drifter obviously did very well, and I get why people are defensive of Hyper Lightbreaker. They want this game to be good, regardless of Sweet Baby Inc.'s involvement. I understand that. What they don't understand is that there's activists all over this company as well, so it doesn't even matter. Honestly, it doesn't even matter if Sweet Baby Inc. had a hand in making this game or not. Look at this Steam community post from March of last year. Person saying that at this stage of development, I don't think that they can just unbind themselves from Sweet Baby Inc. It would mean going back to the drawing board and the game looks far ahead in development. Unless they come out publicly and announce that they're not involved anymore, tell us what Sweet Baby did, and how they're backing off from that. I'm just not going to give them my time. It's a shame. People are saying, yeah, I had my eye on this game, but I'm not going to buy it if Sweet Baby is involved. So their PR manager for Heart Machine came out and said, we are no longer working with Sweet Baby Inc. and have not for over a year. Now, whether or not you want to trust this person, that they haven't worked with Sweet Baby Inc. for over a year and a half now, and that they didn't have any involvement anyways, is up to you. But this person, Elaine thus G on Twitter, I have no idea how to pronounce that. The community and PR manager for Heart Machine, also part of Gumbo New York City, which is a gamer collective, an independent game developer collective. Okay, that's cool, whatever. Attorney at a binational organization providing no-cost legal aid and humanitarian support for deportees, refugees, and separated families, and a graphic designer at QWERTY Games, which is a 501c3 providing LGBTQIA+ resources, support, and networking access to advance visibility and representation in the global gaming and media industry. This is the PR manager for Heart Machine. So whether or not you truly believe that this person is going to, be honest about Sweet Baby Inc.'s level of involvement, that's up to you. If you want to trust this person, go right ahead. Me, personally, I'm not going to trust any activist who is currently working in the games industry who cares more about representation and DEI than they do about actually making good games. And regardless whether or not Sweet Baby had a heavy hand in this game or not, I don't, at this point, see this game being profitable given the current lack of excitement, lack of enthusiasm, and like I said, the elevated cost in the gaming industry right now is absolutely insane. The spending has ballooned out of control, and inflation, of course, is massively up from 9 years ago, so there's no way, at its current trajectory, Hyper Lightbreaker is going to make money, regardless of how much they're trying to, downplay the damage that Sweet Baby Inc. did when it comes to this game. But now today we have an even bigger update on Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, which is absolutely insane because I keep forgetting that they're doing updates for this game, given the fact that they basically said, yeah, the game's going to go offline, we're going to be done, we're killing it off, we can't take any more of a financial loss on this game. But apparently they are retconning this game and adding the official ending to the game's story. Guess what? I'm sure most of you guys have already heard by now, they're all clones. All the heroes who died, the entire point of the game, the entire point of the story, that you have to take out the Justice League, that, Wonder Woman dies, and I believe Robin dies also. They died for nothing because they were actually clones. Check it out.
So we phased our butts into Brainy's lair, and he was steamed, but guess who else showed up?
Brainiac, that's enough. Kryptonian You're indubitably too discombobulated to fight. Don't you know, Brainiac? Anything's possible with a little help from your friends.
Thought he meant us for a second, but of course he meant bats. Ow! That says
The criminals.
that's us did well following his plan. So how'd we figure out Brainy had cloned the League? We were like, there were clones? Anyway, we totally laid it out. If we took him back, Walla would make them into even bigger tools. More importantly, she'd totally 86 us. Soup said the League needs to atone for everything that happened, starting with freeing all the folks Brainy tentacle wrapped, then putting as many worlds right as they can.
All right, I can't take any more of this cringe. You get the idea. So essentially, the entire point of the game, which obviously had a lot of people really upset, given the way that they treated Kevin Conroy's Batman and everything else, the way that they just kind of unceremoniously offed him, none of it mattered. None of it matters. So you see people like the Dr. X11 here saying, so she just died for literal zero reason since the Justice League you kill in the game were just clones the whole time while the real ones were kidnapped except for Diana, who stabbed clone Superman with kryptonite and did nothing. Also, it implied that clone Batman just kills real Robin. And of course, yeah, you're just talking about this scene right here. And yeah, it's absolutely asinine at this point that they think the better option to try to, do damage control, to try to get people to buy this game before it's, no longer available online is to say, just kidding, they were clones the entire time. How does that make it any better? Of course, Quarter Black Gary here saying F you. Veridark says, like I've said, real Batman was supposed to be the Season 5 and final DLC character. They couldn't stretch the money they had and didn't bring any into it to do more content, so this was their half-assed attempt at a fan-favorite finale. Endymion says, Batman and Suicide Squad killed the Justice League is revealed to have been a clone, and the real Batman was alive this entire time while not doing anything, helping his friends or people or anything else. It's kind of like when the Marvel movies, when you go, where were all these superheroes that you're just finding out about now when everything else was turning to shit in the real world? Where were all they? They were just kind of sitting on their ass. Rocksteady likely added to this to skirt the backlash. It's too late either way, the game is dead. Let's hope the Batman IP goes to a studio that cares about him because Rocksteady doesn't anymore. And I think that pretty much sums it up. Now, again, while this is a much bigger failure on paper than Lightbreaker likely could even possibly be, I'm sure the budgets between these games are not even close. I do think it is worth mentioning that, again, Sweet Baby Inc. gets involved in a game, and whether or not the game is affected heavily by it or just in small ways, it inevitably leads to games failing. And that's where I think people need to understand. It doesn't matter if it's a AAA studio, it doesn't matter if it's an independent studio, it doesn't matter how heavily Sweet Baby is involved. Their touch on your game is the difference between make or break it. And that's really unfortunate because a lot of people were hoping Hyper Lightbreaker would be good, and it just seems like right now the game is just not worth playing. So I'm a believer right there, guys. Let me know what you think about all this down in the comment section down below, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Alright, and if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you for being here. I do have two channels, Minimal Effort Podcast, as well as my gaming channel. I do have a Twitch and Kick for my gaming channel. We do live streams over there occasionally, maybe once a week. And then if you are in the market for a new PC, make sure to check out Meta PCs. Click the link I have down below. Use code TBO at checkout for a special discount. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.